I'm Andy Chanley from 88.5 FM, and joining me here on a video conference interview for our Here at Home series is Eliza and the Delusionals. Welcome in, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
That's Eliza.
Yes.
And Eliza Klatt, and also joined by Ruby Lee and Tex, who are isolating there together in their library.
Yep, in the study.
It's nice. You look smart with all those books behind you.
Yeah, that's why we do videos here.
Nice. I got a black curtain. I look like I'm in a JCPenney portrait studio.
Real.
I haven't read a single one.
No.
Welcome in, guys. I'm so glad to talk to you. I've been a fan of that single we've been playing, "Just Exist," for months and months and months here on 88.5 FM.
Thank you.
I actually missed you when you guys came through the studio. You were on tour in the U.S. When was that? That was February?
Yeah, February through to early March. That's all we got to do anyways.
Yeah. I'm so, we'll talk about that in a second, but you just put out your second EP. It features the song "Just Exist," which we've been playing the heck out of on 88.5 FM. And then you're on tour, and you're doing what musicians have to do these days to make a living. You're going from town to town, playing your music for people. Fans come out, and like Todd Rundgren said one time, it doesn't matter what kind of music you play. You go to Pittsburgh the first time, you have 50 people come out. You go to the second time, you have 100 people come out. That's how you build your following, and you were just starting to do it, getting in a van and driving around America, doing a tour, which I admire and love. And then all of this happens and the bottom comes out. I mean, you've processed your bitterness and your anger by now, I guess.
I guess with like feeling angry about it, I'm sure that you guys feel the same. It's kind of like, yes, but also I guess maintaining that level-headedness of like, it's not just us, it's everyone. But it is really devastating. Like, it definitely has taken a toll on everyone's mental health, I think, just like having to deal with like everything we were supposed to be getting on a plane next week to come over for like Bottle Rock Festival, and more touring and that sort of stuff. So it's just weird thinking about that, considering we were like so mentally prepared, and now we're just at home, you know?
Yeah. It's the worst. And in Australia, I mean, you guys you're in fall now, but it's been a pretty crappy year. I mean, you had all of the fires all year long, and then now everybody has to stay in because of COVID. When do you get let up for air?
Hopefully sometime, I guess. I mean, I have to say though, like, Australia is doing really well dealing with coronavirus right now. Like, we've definitely flattened the curve, as they say, like with cases and things like that. With like a lot of the restrictions easing off, which I don't know, maybe it's too soon for that, because like, I don't know, there was lots of people at the shops over the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw, but it was pretty wild, because they just opened up all the shopping centers. But yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's the strangest time any of us have ever known. I was talking to someone just recently about this, another artist, about, she was talking about being open about mental illness, and we were talking about depression, and I can think about the times that I felt depressed. I always felt like nobody in this world knows how I feel right now. Actually, everybody knows pretty much exactly how I feel to some degree or another.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely not alone in that situation right now, especially.
Am I talking to you in Brisbane?
Ruby and Tex are in Brisbane. I'm not in Brisbane though. I'm like more on the Gold Coast.
In Brisbane, Vegas. I'm wearing this for you guys. I know it's not the Brisbane team, but I bought this in Brisbane. It's one of my Australian footy jumpers. I got Geelong Cats on for you today. So
yeah, I definitely noticed.
I made an effort. It was this or the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I figured I'd go with football. I love the town and I love the region that you guys are in. Talk about that. What's happening right now while all of these restrictions and things are holding you back? I would assume artists like yourselves that you're putting pen to paper and you're playing things with strings on them?
Trying to. Well, I haven't seen Ruby and Tex in person since we got back, pretty much. So we haven't done really much together because we haven't been able to. Right now, like I'm staying with my parents, so just over the border, and they've shut the border between Queensland and New South Wales. So we actually like literally haven't been allowed to see each other. But yeah, like at home for me, like I've just been trying to rebuild the home studio and do some writing. But what about you guys? It's probably been different.
Yeah, well, actually, Tex and I, because we live together, we've been jamming. We've been doing some stuff. Just working on some like side projects because there's really nothing else
Yeah.
to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Ruby, you joined the band. You're the bass player, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
You joined the band. I mean, actively. Am I wrong? It was just a matter of months ago for the heading over to go on tour.
Yeah, so I officially joined in January, I think, but did do a tour with them in October, just like, as like a touring player.
Right. So
then
are you
along
the newest member of the band?
Yeah, I'm the baby of the band.
Okay, well, you're the person to ask this question then. If you look up delusional, in the dictionary, it says characterized by or holding idiosyncratic beliefs or impressions that are contradicted by reality or rational argument. To your judgment, in the band, who is the most delusional?
I can feel that coming.
I would have answered it the same, Ruby.
I knew that was
Yeah,
coming.
he already started laughing before I answered the question.
That's 2 against 1, Tex.
He's
Yeah,
a dreamer.
I'm a dreamer. Never stop dreaming.
Since we're talking to you, Tex, there are 7 guitarists in this band, as best I'm able to tell. Is that right?
I must make up 3 of them.
Close to.
There's 2 or 3.
Tell me about your first guitar, Tex.
Oh, I had a black Epiphone SG. It was black on black because that's what the punk kids do. And I had that for like a really long time. And it was recently we've made the swap over to Fenders, and I've been using Fenders for a long time. So yeah, just sort of doing that now, and difference between the two. Fenders are my jam.
He just bought a new guitar.
There's something you can do during these times. I mean, they're still delivering packages. You can go buy some new gear.
I just bought one. It comes tomorrow.
Nice.
That's exciting.
That's healthy. That's what do they call that? Retail therapy. I love it. What about you, Eliza? Tell me about your first instrument.
My first instrument was actually a bass guitar when I was like maybe 11. But I remember my first guitar that my dad bought me was like a Squier Strat from the 90s, which I still have. But the first one I chose myself is a Jazzmaster, and it's a Squier one, but it's probably my favorite out of all the guitars I own. And I just love Jazzmasters. Like, they're just the best sounding guitars in my opinion, and they look cool. Yeah, like my dad has a couple of custom shops that he's bought over the years. He doesn't actually play, but he likes them. So benefit for me because I get to play them. But yeah, I've definitely been on the retail therapy chain. Like, I bought a new amp that came yesterday as well. So, because we got brand new sparkly ones from Fender when we were in America, but because we had to come home so quickly, we actually had to leave them there.
No.
So yes, thank you to the Silver Sun Pickups who are actually looking after those for us. But yeah, it's really wild because I think all of us were like so over the moon, and like Ruby and Kurt actually got new ones just as we finished the tour, like ready for South by Southwest, ready for the rest of it, and they didn't even get to like properly play them on stage. So yeah.
Wow.
I think we all like own more gear in America right now than we actually do in Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
So Silver Sun Pickups have them across town over here?
Yeah, they do. They're looking after them for us.
All right. If we talk to them, we'll make sure that they're taking good care of those. So you talked about your first guitar and your first bass. Do you remember the first time you wrote a song? Like when
Yes.
you wrote it and you were happy that you had completed a song. What age were you?
I think the first time I like attempted to write a full song was maybe when I was 12 or 13, and I would hate to hear what it sounded like now. Um, but I remember the first like song that I wrote for this band. It was called Outside, and yeah, it was so weird because I remember like trying to write so many things and like trying to decide on what it was going to sound like because I just had no idea. But then that kind of, indie rock sort of thing happened. And yeah, I just thought that sounds like it, you know what I mean? And it's just, I guess it's just been developing from there.
In the time since then, so it sounds like you decided fairly early on that this is what you wanted to do with your life. So what did you do? The first song you said isn't something that you would hand to someone now as a calling card, but most certainly the songs that you write today are. At what point was there a shift? And did you just tell yourself, I don't care what this sounds like, I'm going to try to get better at my craft, each week and month and year? What was the mental equation that was made there?
I think having more life experience compared to like, what do you write about when you're 12 years old and you're like, you know what I mean? Like what? So, but I think because I wrote Outside maybe when I was like 17 or 16. So I guess just like having a bit more like life experience, seeing more concerts and getting to know more bands and like, I guess getting to know what I liked rather than, what I had just been listening to because my parents had it on or over the years and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think definitely like having more experience as a person and like more feelings and going through changes and stuff can definitely inspire things like that. But yeah, I knew, for me personally, I knew I wanted to do this when I was like 10 when I went and saw my first concert. And I'm sure you guys probably had the same experience, but yeah, you kind of seeing a concert, a massive scale concert for the first time, you're kind of just like, oh my God, like this is, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it will somehow because it can. Yeah.
Well, I want to go around the room with this. I'll start with you, Tex. If you weren't provided the privilege of being an artist, of making music, where do you think the sliding doors would have taken you today? What would you be doing? And don't say 15 to life.
When I was in high school, I wanted to join the army, but I'm about 6'8", so I figured that was too big of a target. And I went, music looks like a really good idea for me. Fell into that one pretty easy. That was nice.
So you may have very well have been a military man.
Yeah, funny. You wouldn't tell by my body as a temple approach to life now, but I was very, very athletic. I've played a lot of sport, and I thought I was going to play football for a while, and then it's like, oh no, I might do the army. That looked like a thing, but I never ended up. I started playing music when I was about 15, 16. I think as I got more invested in that, I went, no, this is what I'm going to do from here on.
What about you, Ruby?
Oh, I don't know. I guess still be something creative because I was really into graphic design and stuff like that in business. I'll probably, follow my dad's footsteps and get into business and stuff like that. But then, picked up the bass guitar at 14 and that changed everything. So.
That was it. That was all she wrote.
Yeah. And then I was like, I'm going to be a jazz musician. So, and then
that's right.
Either.
What about you, Eliza?
Yeah, like Ruby, I think it would still be something creative. I'm definitely really into art. That's kind of my side thing. So like, well, as of recently, as of when I got an iPad. So, yeah, that would probably be what I would do. It'd be weird imagining life not doing this. I couldn't imagine it.
So last question for each of you. What's the best meal that you've had since you've been in quarantine for the last few months?
I think all of us instantly thought that you were going to say the best meal in America, and I think all of us instantly thought of Denny's straight away.
Seriously?
Wait,
no, I got to change the question now. What was your pick? I don't know. I put you as a Southern Slam guy, Tex.
Yeah.
Maybe two moons over my hammy for you, Eliza. No, what were your go-tos at Denny's?
Okay, so for everyone, we could feed the whole band, 5 people, including our drummer that lives in the States that we had on tour, for $35. And like that was like for us and the amount of money we were trying to live on a day, that was just like whenever we would see one in the distance, we'd be like, Denny's, dinner, breakfast, lunch, everything. It was just,
Is it
yeah.
a mirage?
Is it a
No,
mirage?
it's a real Denny's.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. In one sense, I'm glad the tour is over for your heart health. That
Yeah. Oh my God. It's definitely not a long-term thing, but we're like, look, by next year we might be making more money. So we'll be able to go to somewhere that's not Denny's. But if you get pancakes for $2, like you're stupid not to. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
you got to do it.
yeah.
So much fun to talk to you guys. I'm so excited for you because all of this will one day pass and we'll get back to living something that looks like a normal life. And you guys are so young with a lot of talent and a whole lot of really great experiences ahead of you. So I'm excited for you. What's the name of the second EP, the new EP?
A state of living in an objective reality. It's almost as hard to say as our band name.
Yeah, the level of difficulties up there. And it's out. People can buy the whole EP now, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. We
Okay.
don't have it on vinyl yet, but we do have it on all the streaming services and Bandcamp as well.
All right. And Eliza, what's the website? ElizaandTheDelusionals.com, I'm guessing?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. You can find it all through our Instagram, Facebook as well, if that's easier.
All right. Guys, best of luck with everything. Hope that you're back on the road and coming to see us. And when you get to Los Angeles, you have to come in and see us again, all right?
Yeah, we definitely will. We had so much fun last time. So thank you.
All right. See you, Ruby. See you, Tex.
See you,
See ya.
man.
Thank
All right.
you.
Eliza and the Delusionals on 88.5 FM.